dalam. Okay, we're live. Let's go. Bisa lihat? Kami live. Saya kira kamu bisa. Sekarang? Hello, hello. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Sekarang? Hello, hello. Bisa ya? Hello. Yeay, kami di sini. Aha. Oke, ada. Bisa coba bisa mengirim teks di TikTok seperti apa? Halo, selamat malam. Yeay, oke, ada orang. Okay, yay! People are joining in. That's great. Okay, hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Who do I see? I see. I'm sorry if I pronounce people's names wrong. Bronner Phillips, hello. Yay! Please send some emojis. Sorry, this is my first time doing an TikTok live, so. Still getting my head around a lot of things, but yeah, it should be fine. Yay. Suka ya? Bisa kirim teks?
Bisa.
Tapi saya tidak bisa lihat ya. Okay, good. Yay, okay, good. People are joining in. Dicolas, hello. Michael, hello. Okay, more people coming. More people coming. Amazing. How is everybody's day? Please put down in the chat. How was your day? Was it good? Was it bad? What's been happening? Or you can put a heart emoji. Okay, we're just gonna take a few minutes before we start. Okay, again, just saying this is my first time doing a TikTok live. Please tell me if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I hope everything is working well on your side. Okay, hello Ali. Hello, I hope everybody's doing well. Hello everybody. Okay, good. People are joining in. Have my friend as well helping me. Ya, taman. Hello everybody who is joining in. Okay, we're in it. Good. Okay, well, maybe I'll make a gentle start so that you'll know why you're here. Okay, my name is Radoslav. So glad to be doing this live. Again, as I said, it's my first time doing this TikTok live, and I really hope that obviously this will be happening monthly. Okay, so you can put down on your calendars the last week of every month on Thursday at 8 p.m. WIB, okay, Indonesian time. We're gonna be joining right here, so it's gonna be amazing. Sorry, maybe looking down because I have my notes. Okay, I like to be organized, so this is me. And just to a little bit explain, just before we start and dive into the topic, so we are going to be talking about limiting beliefs, okay, specifically limiting beliefs that young adults may have. Again, it's I think it's something for me, it's really on my heart because I believe that I'm a young adult, first of all, and I have struggled a lot with different limiting beliefs, which I want to share with you, and I really hope that this will really help for you to grow. Oh, I see some more people. Hello, Rui. Hello, Atom. Okay, that's really going to help you to grow, and really the goal is that each person here lives a life of freedom. Okay, that you overcome the things that hold us back. And I think a lot of the time this is to do with this, right? Our limiting beliefs and what we believe about ourselves. Just to say, I think for me, just because I'm a young adult, I really want to, everybody's welcome, of course. Oh, I see somebody from Switzerland. Hello. I'm also Swiss. Okay, good. Yeah, the goal is that I really want to speak to young adults, okay? I really want to speak to young adults. The goal is that we can all grow and overcome our limiting beliefs, okay? Because again, we all have thoughts that have been formed by our past. We have thoughts that have been formed by what our parents have said. We have thoughts that have been formed by our culture. Okay, so and I really want us to explore that and really overcome the things that are Indonesian friends, to my Indonesians, and of course I have a lot of people that do follow this channel who are Indonesian, and I think over time saya mau bicara bahasa Indonesia. Like I really want to speak more bahasa Indonesia as well, and hopefully I want to keep more the how do you say the English, keep it more in Instagram actually. Okay, but this is something for the future. But again, I really want to. This platform is for everybody, and specifically I want to speak a lot to my Indonesian friends because I live in Indonesia, right? But again, this is for everybody. It's going to help everybody. So so please tune in. Okay, so this is a little bit about who is this for. Now, what I'm going to talk about, I think as I mentioned in the beginning, I will be talking about limiting beliefs. Okay, so each month we're going to be going live. Oh, Jean-Luc, hello. Oh, it seems that maybe it's a French name. Comment ça va? And we want to really talk about limiting beliefs once every month. Okay, we're going to be tackling one limiting belief that we may have. Again, I'm going to share from my experience, my understanding. So it's not set in stone, but I really hope that is going to help you to grow. And of course, I'm also in this journey and I want also to grow with you. Hello, Saladua. Oh, I see the Swiss flag. Comment ça va? J'espère que tu vas bien. Okay, so Karma, hello. So today, actually, just to give a bit of a teaser, if I can say, we're going to be talking about you don't have to have everything figured out when you graduate from university. Okay, we're going to be exploring that, and sometimes the pressure that can come on young people to get everything together when you're 22 or when you're 23. You know what I mean? There's so much going on, and this has been the case for me and in the environment I grew up in, and I'm gonna share a lot about that later. Okay, but yeah, so please tune in. Each month we're gonna be doing these lives. Okay, and again, the goal is that we can all grow and experience freedom and not have the negative mindsets that limit us. Again, I said this quite a few times, so I'm not going to do it again, but I just really want to hone in what this is about. Okay, it's about you, it's about me, it's about growing and becoming a better version of who we are. Okay, now I just want to give a little bit about the why. Again, this live may be a bit longer. It's supposed to be 30 minutes, but I just want to give a bit of a background so that you know about me and about the vision of these lives and the vision of my channel. Okay, so I've been going to therapy since 2023. Okay, and therapy has been really something that has helped me so much to grow and to understand a lot about the trauma that I have experienced growing up, to understand about the negative mindsets I've developed, to understand about me and who I am, right? Because I think a lot of the times we kind of suppress a lot of who we are and the way we react, the way we talk, the way we feel. And I just think it's so important that we are aware of why we behave the way we behave in certain environments. And I think that that's a lot to do with the way we've grown up, our culture, trauma, and so on. Okay, so this is one of my inspirations, and really I've experienced so much freedom doing therapy. Again, it's gonna be now third year coming up, and I still go to therapy here in Indonesia. And I just really want everybody here who is watching to experience the same freedom that I have experienced. And I know you can, and I know it's possible, and I know that you can overcome the negative things that maybe are holding you back. And I just really want you to live this life of freedom. Okay, so this is my heart, this is my goal. I want to say as well that which is important for me to share, that I'm also a Christian. Okay, so I do believe in God, I believe in Jesus. So a lot of what I say is inspired by my Christian faith. But again, I want to say this is not for Christians, this is for everybody. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Buddhist, whether you're atheist, whether you're agnostic, Presbyterian, Catholic, Orthodox, this is for everybody, because I think we all can grow, and we all can become a better version of who we are. Okay, so that's why this live is for everybody. Okay, so just want to make that disclaimer for you so that you know. Again, I'm not going to mention this in every live, but again, this is just for you to know a bit about me and my life. Okay, wow, a lot of people. Let's go. Mustafa, hello. I see the Swiss flag. Hello. I used to live, I'm Swiss actually. Used to live in Switzerland for a long time, about 8 years actually. Okay, good. Again, one disclaimer just before we start to dive into our topic is, again, I'm not a therapist, okay? So just want to say I am not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I don't have a certificate to be a therapist. I'm just a young adult who has gone to therapy and is going to therapy, and who wants to share with you all some things, some tips of how you can overcome limiting beliefs in your mindset, okay? So please don't take my opinion as professional opinion. I do think there are professionals that can, if you're seeking counsel, I do recommend seeking therapy and seeking counsel. But just want to say, my opinion is not final. It is an opinion and a perspective. Okay. The other thing is, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Okay. Because at the end, I want to spend some time to, if you have any concerns, any doubts, anything you want to share, that I really want to go through those comments. Okay. So if you have anything you want to share, please feel free to do so. Okay, I do wanna acknowledge everybody's perspective and comments and what you guys are sharing. Okay, so yes, so these are some disclaimers I wanted to share. And now, so excited, so hyped. I was so hyped, to be honest, to start this live and just to share about this again. So my name is Radoslav. I am 24 years old. I live in Indonesia, and I have a heart really to see people grow, especially in the mental health, emotional health, mentally, especially as men, but this again for women too, because sometimes we can think that internalizing things, which they're obviously different personality types, people, they're different people do it differently. And I want to say that especially as men, we tend to just internalize everything, and what tends to happen over time is it builds up like a volcano, then it explodes. And all these emotions and frustration and anxiety and effects from trauma just kind of explodes, and it affects a lot of people around us, not just us. And that's why my personal motto is, I'm young, again, I'm 24 years old, but I want to become as mature as possible so that anywhere I am, I can help people and I can help people grow instead of break people. Because I really believe that healed people heal people, broken people break people, okay? And you may not, and I'm speaking about myself as well, let's say we may not feel like, you know, we have a problem and we don't address the issues in our hearts and the things that happen from our childhood. But the reality is, whatever we don't deal with that has a negative impact, it will affect other people, whether we want or not. Okay, and that's why it's so important to invest in ourselves, to invest in why we do certain things. Do we have trauma? How can we overcome it so that we can become a better version of ourselves and we can help other people? Okay, and so again, what I want to share today is really focused on this. You don't have to have everything figured out when you graduate from university. This is what I want to home in. This is a limiting belief, which I believe is very large and very big, especially in Europe. And I have seen the same in Indonesia. Again, I can't speak so much because I've only lived here for about 6 months. But I do see that there is this expectation that young people, young adults, are supposed to know what they're supposed to do after university. They're supposed to know the job, what job they're supposed to pursue. They're supposed to know like where they're gonna live. They're supposed to know even like, you know, when they're gonna get married, and you know, when they're gonna buy the first house, and all of those things are put upon, I believe, young adults at a very early stage. Okay, and I think a lot of it does come from our cultures. It does come from our parents. It does come from our friends. It does come from society in general. Okay, we're expected to know what we're supposed to do very early on. Okay, and I really believe, like, the image I had when I was thinking about this. So I just want to say, I don't know what the term is, but I do see a lot of things in pictures. Okay, so I'm going to be describing a lot of what I'd say in pictures. Okay, but the picture which I had was like, imagine a metal rod, and that metal rod itself is not malleable, meaning it's not flexible, right? And I think the way society, I think, again, I'm not against the society and the system and things like that, but just bear with me to describe this image. But I really believe that the way society puts pressure on young people is that they're supposed to know what they're supposed to after university, have their life figured out. And it's almost like this metal block which cannot be bent, right? It's supposed to be this rigid thing. You're supposed to know what exactly you're going to do and a job you're supposed to follow for the rest of your life after, when you're 22, like when you finish university. But I really believe that I see. Let's put it in a different, or let's say it differently, right? I think our purpose in life and what we're supposed to do, it's a lot more like the railway tracks, right? If you see in the railway tracks, they don't just go in one direction, right? They swerve, they do turns, and why is that important to me? The way I see it is like our purpose can go through transitions, right? We may have a job that we do for 5 years and then we change jobs. We may do a job for 3 years and then do another degree and just change what we do. It's possible. And I think that's why our purpose, for me, it's a lot more like, it's like the railway tracks, right? It goes in certain directions in different seasons of life. And I just believe that a lot of the times young adults are not allowed to see this picture. And I just really believe that seeing this picture about your life, it brings a lot of relief, because it's like, it removes the weight of your shoulders. It's like, wow, well, I don't have to like have everything figured out. These expectations that society puts on me, I don't have to have those, right? And what I wrote down on my notes, actually, which I think is interesting, but I think there has to be space for fluidity, right? And in other words, there has to be space for, wait for it, change, right? Life changes, like things happen. Like I can't tell you how many changes I've had in my life, and it's been so hard, because like the expectation was I'm supposed to have everything figured out, but my life has been in like ups and downs and changes, really like the railway tracks, until I'm in a place, I would say right now, where I really feel like I know what I'm doing, I know my purpose, and I know where I'm going. And I'm not saying it's not going to change, but there is a lot more certainty behind it, right? So what I want to say is that, and I actually found this interesting, because I was actually reading, because I'm studying Bahasa Indonesia, and I was reading an article about Thomas Edison in Indonesia, which is crazy. But Thomas Edison, and actually a lot of other people, these were people that they had a mindset that couldn't be, how do you say, structured by the system of the world, like by education system and so on. And so they weren't actually very good at like school and university and so on, because the way they were thinking was outside the scope of the system that we live, right? Again, I'm not saying, I don't have anything against the system, please don't get me wrong, and I hope nobody just clips this and puts it elsewhere. But what I'm saying, and then what I read about Thomas Edison was like, you know, when he actually started working, he was really successful what he did. I think he was, before obviously created a light bulb, he was working in different firms. I think he was creating like a phonograph, and he was working in, I think even in some sort of media. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, please. But it's just like, it just made me think, and I want to speak to everybody listening and who will listen. It's like, you are such a unique person. You are such a unique person that you have so, like, you cannot be confined by a system, if that makes sense. There's so much creativity that you have. There's so many things that you can accomplish that is just being confined by a system is just not possible, right? And I just want to say, of course, there are people that, of course, they thrive under the system that we have, the education system. You know, you get an education, everything that you learn is structured, like math is structured, like chemistry is structured, and science and English and Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Tionghoa, like Chinese, right? And that works for some people, right? But at the same time, it doesn't work for everybody. Like for a lot of people, when you go through the system and you go through, like, you know, junior high, and then you go to kindergarten, junior high, and high school, and then university, and then we end up like, we don't know what we want to do with our lives, right? Because the system itself hasn't prepared us. And I just want to say, if you're in that space where you are between the age of 24 and 33 and you are still not sure what you want to do, can I just say it's okay? And can I just say you are doing very well? Can I just say I'm proud of you? Can I just sit with that? Because I think there's so much that's happening in this world that it's telling us that we need to be a certain way. We need to have everything figured out. And I just think it's so much pressure to put on a person for young adults, right? To have everything figured out after university. It's like, no, like, you don't have to have everything figured out. You're allowed to try things. You're allowed to trial and error until you find what you're good at, what you're gifted at, what you love, what you're passionate about, and what you want to focus on, right? And I just really think, like, yeah, there's just so much. Again, I'm kind of maybe you may think I'm rambling, but I just really want to hone this point. Like, so much pressure to figure out where you're going to live, what you're going to work as. Do you want to travel? Do you want to stay in one place? And you know, there's so many questions that come up after university, especially, and it's just like, it's just like so much to think about. But I just want to say, you can breathe, right? You can breathe. You are not behind. Like, you are where you're supposed to be, and you're gonna do great things. I think everybody watching here, I just want to say this up front: you're destined for greatness. You are destined for greatness. And again, as I said in the beginning, what I'm saying comes from my beliefs as a Christian. But I just want to say, you can take it or leave it. But I want to say to you, you're destined for greatness. And it's something that I think you need to accept, right? It's something you need to accept. And I'm going to share a little bit about my personal journey, because I really want to. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people. Again, I'm not saying my story is the most unique. Of course, I'm pretty sure you've heard other stories, but I just think, like, you know, and just want to say, I think we as people, like, we want to have control, right? We want to have control. We want to know, like, what is my life going to look like? We don't like the fluidity. We don't like life as a railway track. Like, you know what I mean? But I just want to say, like, there's something beautiful about not knowing everything and discovering as you go, and stepping in one step at a time, right? And I just want to share a little bit about my life. But before I do that, can I just have a bit of I just say, what's happening? What's been happening in your hearts as I've been speaking this? Can you tell me, like, in the chat, like, are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling confused about what I'm saying? Are you feeling happy? Do you agree? Let me see the chat, like, what has been happening. Like, let me just I don't even, again, this is my first time using TikTok, so sorry guys, but I just want to check. Please send your comments in the chat. Like, I really want to see where you guys at, what's happening in your mind. Like, I just really want to see how is everybody feeling right now. Okay, amazing. How is everybody feeling right now? Yeah, please type in. I really want to know. Like, this is not, I don't want this to be like just a monologue. I want an interaction with everybody here. Hello, Abdul. Hello, Rosa. Okay, please let me know. How is everybody feeling right now? Are you anxious? Where you at? Was there something that happened today, like, that really made you, like, anxious? From what I said as well, like, what do you feel? What's happening here? Like, what's happening here in the heart? Like, what's happening here right now? Okay, good. So I'm gonna go on, okay, and I want to share my life story, a little bit of my life story, okay, and I'm gonna share, I think, different snippets in different times. But I finished my university degree in the United Kingdom. Again, as I said, I live in Indonesia now. It's a long story how I got here, and hopefully I get to share. But I graduated from university, and I did my bachelor's S1, for those who are from Indonesia, in chemistry. Okay, because I really love chemistry. It's something I'm very passionate about. And I wanted to work in the medicinal field. So my dream was to graduate and then work in the medicinal field. I wanted to develop drugs. I wanted to develop oncological drugs, which are drugs that combat cancer. Okay, but after graduation, I really felt like I was supposed to go back home to Switzerland. Okay, so that's what I finished my high school education, international school, and then I went back and I lived with my mom. Okay. And again, I had this understanding, I had this pressure as well, a little bit from my family, kind of to start working and, obviously make income and so on. And again, I had this idea that I wanted to work in the medicinal field. So when I went to Switzerland, I went with this, and I had by God's grace, very good grades. I graduated first class. Again, not to brag or anything. It was a lot of hard work, and it was COVID time and all these things. And I wanted to really like go in. Like I was like, I'm gonna change the world. Like I'm gonna go and work as a chemist. And and I started applying for jobs, right? Started applying for jobs, and I was sitting for hours in front of the computer, time stalking me like like a hungry leopard. I spent hours devouring Indeed.com, jobs.ch, like and many other job websites with the same result every time. No jobs. I got called for, I think, one interview, and I almost got accepted for the job, but they actually found somebody that had a bit more experience than me at the time. And I was just like, yeah, but the response was the same for all companies. It was just no. Like, I don't know if, can anybody relate in the chat? You've been applying for 60 jobs and the same, and you get the same response, and that's no. And you get this generic email like, well done for applying, and we thank you for application, but we can't provide any feedback because there's too many applicants, and the same story. All the same story that we hear all the time. Anyway, but it was hard. Like, I was applying for 60 jobs, still be very hopeful that I'm gonna get a job. Like, I'm gonna land one job at least. Applying for 60. I think I went probably to 80. I need to check my laptop. There's so many. But as a man, like, I'm gonna speak as a man that didn't have a job, that had high expectations and big dreams. Nothing wrong with that. Not having a job made me very frustrated. Like, I was very anxious. Like, I had a very low self-esteem at the time, because I was feeling like, well, I don't have a job. Like, my identity, like, what am I doing? And I was around my friends. I still love my friends, and I still communicate with them from Switzerland. I just love my friends. But they had good jobs. They had well-paying jobs. And it was just really hard to be in a space where the conversation was about work, because I didn't have work. And I was even we were in spaces and with friends, and they were telling me stories about their jobs and promotions, and just like what's been happening, and their visions and their goals, and so I felt so bad when people asked me this question, like, what did I work as? And I didn't have an answer. And I said, well, I don't work at this moment, and just the pressure of society and life was just all over me. I was like, but I'm happy because my family helped with the bills, and helping me to in this season, which was difficult, and there was just pressure and so much stress, and as a man especially, not being able to provide for myself, and it was really hard. I want to say really hard, and I lasted for maybe 7-8 months. And in Switzerland, the job market is very competitive, I should say. But I did not give up, guys. I did not give up. I kept applying. And you may want to hear the story where I got the job, but I didn't. Okay? But in that season of waiting, I upskilled myself, right? I upskilled myself. I did a lot of courses in data analysis, teaching, and more. And I was going to church, meeting friends, growing spiritually, not allowing myself to lose hope, right? Not allowing myself to be discouraged by what I was seeing and the situation I was experiencing. And I did delivery driving. I did Uber driving actually for a few months, and then I stopped, and then I redid it actually. I taught online. I started to teach English online. It was something I really wanted to start. And I actually took a gap year as well. So I had to travel around the world. I went a lot in Asia, and that's how I ended up in Indonesia actually, helping a lot with organizations, the poor, the broken, in orphanages, in schools, like really something that really opened my heart. But even when what was so interesting about this was that, and what I want to just kind of encourage everybody, I tried a lot of things. Even though I didn't get the job that I wanted, and hence didn't pursue the vision and the dream that I wanted, I tried a lot of things. Like, I tried, again, data analysis, I tried Uber driving, I tried teaching, I tried doing humanitarian work and social work, like a lot of things. Like, and also my family, they have, different companies, and I got to work for them and help, and in restaurants, and a lot of different things, I should say. And what I really got from it was only when I traveled actually around the world and I was teaching, people, I really fell in love with this aspect of teaching. And I really fell in love with this aspect of helping people, like helping the poor, the broken, the socially disadvantaged. It was just those two things that really just lifted up my spirit, that made me passionate. I could do this for hours and days. And it's just something that I really loved. And even in Switzerland, I was going to homeless shelters and just really helping people in different ways. Like, I lived in the French part of Switzerland, and it was just, that was my passion. And I was just thinking to myself, well, how can I marry those two things? Like, how can I I don't know, I just have a marriage analogy, just bringing those things into marriage. I also love teaching, like teaching English, teaching science, because I can speak a lot of languages, and I love science. I still love chemistry. Like, chemistry is my, my passion. And then I found this, again, I was coming to Indonesia and really serving. I really just felt in my heart that I wanted to come to Indonesia full time, like, and really just live here and help the people. And that's how I it was actually when I came here, June of this year, actually, that I really could see how I could marry those passions that I had together. And currently I teach in a local school. I teach English, and I think soon, hopefully next academic year, I might start teaching chemistry, which is my dream. And at the same time, I'm going to orphanages and teaching children English and helping kids, like organizing workshops to teach them different skills so that they don't have to live in poverty after they become 18 years of age, and just and really just helping orphanages. Like, my goal is to really sponsor 5 orphanages by the end of this year. So this is one of my goals. Again, really helping kids. It's my passion, okay? And this is something that I've discovered. And if somebody asks me, listen to this, guys. If somebody asks me now what I want to do for the next 5 years, I have an answer. I have an answer. But I didn't have an answer when I graduated from university. And again, that was 2 years ago. Again, I'm still young, 24, as I told you. But what I'm trying to say, you don't have to have everything figured out. That pressure that you experience from society, you don't have to bear. And you can actually try different things to see what you're good at. And what I've seen here in Indonesia, which is nice, which I don't see a lot in Europe, is that a lot of the education in Europe is based on theory, but not much in practice. And so you don't get to try a lot of things. All you get to try is on the field that you've chosen, but you chose that field when you were in high school. And in high school, very few people know what they want to do for a job in a profession, because you haven't explored so many things. But I just want to say, in my case, it was when I explored different facets in different areas that I actually found something I'm passionate about and something I'm good at. Just want to add, something I'm passionate about, something I'm good at, and something that's impacting other people. Okay? And that I found by trial and error. I found this by trial and error. Okay? And I just want to say that's possible for you. That's possible for you. You don't have to carry this burden of having everything figured out, having this burden from society, from your parents, from everybody, to have this everything figured out. You don't have to have this. Honestly, you don't have to have this. You can live a life of freedom, and you're not behind in your timing. You're going to enter your purpose. You're going to enter your calling, and you're going to enter into what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and you're not behind. Even though you may see your friends around you having things figured out, you are not behind. You are not behind. And if I can encourage you, if you can take something away from this, I hope that you can, this pressure of having everything figured out, you can leave. Listen, okay, listen. You can take the baggage and the pressure from society and leave it in this chat. So I want you to put up, if this is you, put a bag emoji in the chat right now. And also leave it in this live. In these lives, where we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, I want you guys to leave baggage. I want you guys to leave baggage. And leave these lives, and today, starting from today, feeling free. Feeling like a weight has been lifted. Because there are expectations that were put on you that were never yours to carry. And this life is about people that are going to say, you know what? I choose to leave this. And I choose to live a life of freedom. Woof. I'm speaking to somebody here. I'm getting encouraged by myself. Okay. Sorry guys, I know it's already 37 and I want these lives to be 30 minutes. Okay, but I'm gonna be starting to close a bit. But what I want to do every live is again, this is a bit longer because I want to share more about the vision and myself. Okay, these lives are not gonna be as long, usually 30 minutes max. Okay, I want to read something that I wrote. Again, I have my notes here, but I just want to read something to you. What if the purpose of your life, what you're made to do, what you are created to do, can only be discovered in the season of quietness, exploration, and even confusion that you're finding yourself in right now? Think about it. The very answers that you're looking for can be found in the place that you are if you just give it a bit more time. Exploring different activities is actually a blessing because you get to see what you like, what you're good at, and what you're talented at. And I want to also acknowledge that, of course, we come from different cultures. Hello, is it Mocheta.com? Hello. I know we come from different cultures, and some of us may not have the freedom that we want to have. I understand that. And I understand that sometimes there's pressure from, again, family, friends, a lot of things, and sometimes we cannot control a lot of that. And I want to acknowledge that. Okay, I don't want to just put this out there and just assume everybody has a perfect environment. Like, but I also want to say, like, you can still live in freedom. Like, even if right now maybe you're below, maybe you don't have the authority to kind of escape that environment, but at the same time, I want to say that you can still live in freedom. Like, this is not external. This is about the heart. It's about choosing. It's about believing. It's about loving yourself. It's about knowing that you're created for greatness and really choosing to live a life of freedom and a culture and not carry expectations from others that's limiting your growth and that's crushing you, but choosing to withstand that and to grow and to create something new where you can thrive. You can do that. It starts here. It starts in the heart. I'm going to talk a lot about the heart because it starts in the heart and it goes to the mind. I really believe that. So I just want to say, for those that are here, in every, how do you say, I just want to say something. I'm going to talk about, this may be weird for some, but I want to say encouraging statements every time in every life, okay? And I have 5 here with me right now, and I just want you to, again, repeat this where you are. If you cannot, because the people around you and you know, and don't feel comfortable, I just want you to say this in your heart. But I really want, there's something powerful when you speak this out, and I want you to speak it to yourself, okay? I want you to speak this to yourself. I think it will really shape something in you. Okay, so I want to say 5 statements. I want you to repeat after me and think about you. I'm going to say it, but this is you. This is you. Okay. I am loved and I have a purpose and a calling. Number 2, none can take that calling away from me, from my life, because it has my name written on it. My name, Radoslav, written on it. Say your name there. My name, Radoslav, written on it. Number 3, every life experience is an opportunity to grow and become a better version of me. Number 4, what I have experienced until now is only a small portion of my purpose. There is more to come. And number 5, I believe in myself, and I know, right? Sorry, that I know I will reach my goal, my purpose. It is only a matter of time as I constantly grow and develop. How do you feel? How do you feel having said that? And I want you to do this. This should be a regular practice. We cannot live by the circumstances in our lives. We cannot live by that. We cannot live by that. You're destined for greatness, and that's nothing to do with the circumstance in your life. You can grow up in a poor family, a rich family. You may have grown up in an abusive home. You may have grown up, you may have not done well with school. These are situations, a lot of them that we cannot control or born with. But you're destined for greatness. You're destined for greatness. I also want to give some practical tips, okay? And actually, just before I do that, again, I said before that I come from a Christian background, and again, this life is for everybody, regardless of what you believe. Because I think here they were talking about principles, okay? But I really believe that God made you for a purpose, and it has your name written on it, and you are going to do great things. So I just want to leave you with this, and just to meditate, think about it when you go to bed, tomorrow when you go to work. And again, please, if this really encouraged you, like what has been talked about in this life, please send it to somebody. So many people are suffering from lack of hope because of pressures and things, okay? Bottom line, I want to say the bottom line. Keep exploring and know you're not behind. For some people, purpose is like the railway tracks. It takes different twists and turns before it reaches a destination. We have been programmed to believe that there is no flexibility when it comes to purpose, but that is not true. Only the flexible clay can be molded into what it needs to become. The harder the clay is, the more it resists the clay master. Okay. Again, I want to say this. There is pressure put on us as young people to have everything figured out after university, and we feel guilty when we don't know what we want to do, and when we are trying different things and we're trying to figure out life. I want to say you're not behind, and you don't have to feel guilty. You're going to enter into your purpose very soon. It may come in 5 years, it may come in 6 years, it may come in 7, it may come next month, it may come tomorrow. Doesn't matter. The point is the journey. Okay? The point is the journey. And the point is that you are destined for greatness, and that you have a purpose and a calling. That doesn't change. Society may put a pressure on you, but that doesn't change. It doesn't change the reality. If everybody can just take a deep breath, just breathe in and breathe out. I just really hope there's some baggage that's going to be left in this life. I just really hope there's going to be some expectations that were wrong expectations that are going to be left in this life. And I just really believe that when you obviously log out now, when we actually finish the live, that you can live in freedom. God bless you, everybody. So again, I just want to read. Does anybody have any comments? George, other comments? Okay, sa po ng taman, yang mambantu saya. I have a friend who is helping me. Again, if you have any comments, concerns, any questions, please drop them in the chat. Again, I want to take just a few minutes just to have a look. Again, let me send some highs. Hello, not Elo, Shonson. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate everybody. This is so amazing. Hi, everybody. Again, just want to say, do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? Yeah, let me know. This is a free platform. Please share your questions if you have anything that's really like on your heart. Like, how did you feel after this life? I'd love to know how you feel actually. Does this help you? Did you feel like, there's some baggage that's going to be left here? I'd love to know, because I want these lives to be for you, for my viewers, for everybody that you can live a life of freedom. Like, I'm living this out, and I'm getting free and free every day, and I've experienced a lot of freedom against it through therapy and through healing. And I really believe this is for everybody. Like, everybody, no matter what you've grown up in, what's happened in your life, you can live in freedom. Like, you really do, and I believe that. And freedom, I want to say to everybody, freedom looks good on you. Freedom looks good on you. So, good. Yeah, okay. Again, if you have any questions, that's fine. Please drop them in the chat. Again, I just want to say, just one last thing. Trust in the process. You don't have to have everything figured out after you graduate university. Trust in the process. You're where you need to be. Trust God in writing your story. Thank you, everybody. So just want to say again, next live, if you have your agendas, okay, agendas. Next live, let me actually put this in the chat. This is important. Next live, we're going to talk about a different topic. Next live, and it will be revealed later, but it will be on Thursday. Write this down. Thursday, 26th of February. Okay, February at 8 p.m. West Jakarta time. I forgot what YB stands for. Okay, we're going to go live once every month. Okay, the last week of the month on a Thursday. So this case will be Thursday, 26th of January from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. WIB. The topic of discussion will be revealed. So please follow this page. Like, I really want to create content that helps you. I really want to create content that, it's really going to bless you, and it's really going to help you overcome limiting beliefs and talk about different aspects of personal growth. Okay, so again, hit the follow button. Be posting more content also about my journey. Again, I want to document my journey of healing so that it can inspire and help you to grow. Okay, untuk bisa menyemangati kalian. I'll also be inviting friends. I'll be inviting guest speakers, okay, from Switzerland, from UK, from Indonesia. Okay, so this is going to be big. Different people are going to be coming on talking about different expertise. So if you want to know more about that, follow this page. Okay, everything's going to be revealed here. And I think this is going to be us for today. Again, apologies. Thank you, everybody, for today. And we'll see you on the next live. Again, apologies for we were supposed to finish at 8:30. But again, I wanted this to be a bit longer because I wanted to explain a lot about my vision and what is happening in terms of why this platform, so that you know that you can relate or not relate. You know, everybody has like vibes with different people. Okay, me no vibe with me, vibe with somebody else. But again, this is about it's about you. It's about your growth. It's about leaving the baggage in this chat, in this live, and leaving a better version of who you are. Okay, so I think that's going to be everything. Again, any comments, questions, concerns, you can drop me a DM. I want to interact with you guys. And yeah, let's keep this up. Again, see you guys. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you on the 26th of February, okay, at 8 p.m. another live. So thank you guys. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Okay, let's see.